You know, for the longest time, when we thought about AI, we really just thought about text, right? Chatbots, translators, all that stuff. But here's the thing, that's just a tiny, tiny slice of our actual reality. The real world is so much bigger, and AI is, well, it's finally starting to catch up. Yeah, exactly. The real world isn't just a bunch of words on a screen. It's what we see, what we hear, what we feel. Text is just, it's just the tip of the iceberg. If AI is going to get to that next level, it has to understand the whole messy, incredible picture that we live in every single day. So you might be asking, why now? What's the big rush? Well, it's because we are practically swimming in non-text data. Just think about it for a second. The constant stream of info from self-driving cars, the endless video from security cameras, the audio from every single smart device in our homes. The data is it's everywhere. And this is such a perfect way to think about it. An AI that only understands text, it's like it's trying to watch a movie with its eyes closed and ears plugged. It's missing almost the entire story. So for AI to go from being just a tool to something like a true partner, it's got to process this complex world. And the absolute key to unlocking that? It's solving this one fundamental challenge, a concept called chunking. And that brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today, this chunking conundrum. Seriously, it's one of the biggest and honestly one of the most fascinating challenges in AI right now. Solving it is everything. Okay, so what on earth is chunking? Put simply, it's just the process of taking a huge, continuous stream of data. Think of a long video or an audio recording and breaking it down. You're cutting it into small, digestible, and, this is the important part, meaningful pieces that an AI can actually analyze. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, as you're about to see, it is anything but. With text, chunking is pretty easy. You've got natural breaks, right? Paragraphs, sentences, it's logical. But how do you chunk a video? Where do you even start? Do you split it by the second, by the scene, by a specific sound? If you make each frame a chunk, that's just a ridiculous amount of data. But if you do it every, say, 5 seconds, you could totally miss the most important action right in the middle of a cut. So where do you draw the line? And this leads to a really important question. Because this isn't just some abstract problem for engineers to worry about. What happens when chunking goes wrong? The consequences can be pretty serious. The AI can completely misunderstand what's actually happening in the real world. Okay, let's take a look at this security camera example. It's perfect. If you do bad, time-based chunking, the AI sees a person in chunk 1 and then a broken window in chunk 2. It has no idea those two things are related. It just missed the event. But with good chunking based on the event, the AI creates one single chunk around the entire action. And now it gets it. It understands. A person broke that window. See the difference? It's a total game changer. So the big question is, how are developers actually solving this? This is where it starts to get really, really cool. They're coming up with these incredibly clever strategies to segment different kinds of data, basically teaching the AI how to find the important parts all by itself. All right, let's talk about vision. A huge breakthrough here is something called the Vision Transformer, or VI for short. What it does is pretty genius. It takes an image and slices it up into a grid of tiny squares, they call them patches. Then, and this is the cool part, it treats each one of those patches like it's a word, a token. By looking at how all these little word patches relate to each other, it starts to understand the whole picture. It's like, oh, this patch is a cat's ear, and that one over there is its tail. It's literally teaching itself how to see. Okay, so vision is one thing, but what about sound? How do you chunk, say, a really noisy conversation? Well, there are two main tricks. The first is called audio event detection. This is all about chunking by what is happening. The AI learns to spot a dog barking chunk or a door slamming chunk. The second technique is speaker diarization. This one chunks by who is talking. Ever wonder how your meeting transcription software magically knows how to label speaker A and speaker B? This is it. This is the tech behind it. All right, so we've figured out how to make good chunks for video and good chunks for audio. That's great. But here's where we take the real leap. Because having them separate isn't enough. We have to connect the pieces. That's where true understanding really begins. And this is such a crucial point. Just creating good chunks is only half the battle. If you have a perfect video chunk and a perfect audio chunk, but they exist in their own little silos, the AI is still missing the big picture. It's not enough. The real magic, The breakthrough moment is when we teach the AI to understand the relationship between all these different chunks. It has to learn that the visual chunk of a dog's mouth opening is directly connected to the audio chunk of a bark. That connection is everything. So how do they do that? Well, they use this really powerful technique called cross-modal attention. I know, it sounds super technical, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It just teaches the AI to pay attention to how things from different streams, vision, audio, text, are related. It learns that the sight of a bat hitting a ball, the sound of that crack, and the text home run aren't three separate things. They're all part of one single event. And all of this leads to the ultimate goal, which is what's called a unified representation. The AI stops thinking in separate files, like this is a video and this is an audio clip. Instead, it starts building a single, rich, abstract idea of the world. So it doesn't just see a picture of a beach, it understands the concept of beach, which includes the sound of the waves, the image of the sand, everything. We're talking about a shift from just matching patterns to genuine comprehension. It's huge. And when we master this whole complex process, the chunking, the connecting, it unlocks a future that honestly has felt like science fiction up until now. I mean, think about it. We could have hyper-personalized assistants that don't just read your calendar entries. They could hear the tired tone in your voice, see the look on your face, and say, hey, maybe you should take a break. We're talking about self-driving cars that have a single, super rich understanding of everything happening around them. Not just seeing cars, but hearing sirens, understanding context. And really, when you get down to it, this is the foundation. These are the building blocks for what we call artificial general intelligence, or AGI. An AI that can actually perceive and interact with our messy, unscripted world, basically just like a human does. So yeah, text was just the start. The future of AI is all about seeing, hearing, and really understanding our world. And now you kind of know the secret sauce for how it all gets pieced together. So I want to leave you with a question. As you think about all this, what's the one multimodal AI application that you are most excited about? Or maybe even a little nervous to see become a reality?